I do feel condemned to death. Not that I wish it, but if I did, dear Father, I would die. Yes, I know I find that very odd, but I would die if I were condemned to death, and that's obviously not obscure at all, but if it were, then why would you yourself die? Hidden amongst the bushes, amongst the Twilight brings me to this place, alright? It calls to me, it speaks to my other self. I'm condemned to death because I am condemned to you. I speak to my Father, yet I speak to the heart. At the same moment, I cannot control it. Do you understand that? You can't? Correct. You can't. I should have known. You of all people, you never felt love. The warmth of pure love. The beacon of hope, shining beneath the utter depths of darkness. You never experienced that, did you? Dear Father, how is it that you live with a pure soul and good heart if you've never experienced love? For then if you should not have loved, you should not have loved me. Which then now, I'm condemned to death because my speech to you, 'tis not true. 'Twas not true, it is not true, 'tis true, and anything else that isn't false. Please accuse thyself now. If I should be the one to die, then you've never loved me. If thou should tell me now, then I would feel a great hope, and if I... You never loved me. You're telling me this now? Before I am condemned to death? I know I asked for it, but I was only creating the situation to be far less inadequate and far more crucial, to the point where I myself could die. That's why I'm condemned to death. Now, you think of it now. Why now? Why now in front of the stand, in front of all the jury, and why now must you torture and humiliate me to the point of death? 'Tis I know I should already die, yet if I didn't die, then would you still have told me? I am yet a young woman of 13. I know more than most 13-year-olds know. I know how you felt about my mother and my sister, and why you murdered them in the night. I understand that. I can't believe I just said that, but I do. Oh, this while I thought you kept me alive because you loved me, but the whole while you were planning for me to die because you didn't have the courage to do it yourself. You were afraid because I knew too much, right? You were afraid I'd figure out that if you tried to kill me, you'd do it the same way. I would know the signs, but yet you didn't lay a hand on me, your own daughter. Just because I wasn't like Rose, nor my mother. I thought you'd keep me alive. You only kept me alive for work, right? Yes, you only kept me alive to work in your home until you could find some punishment for me to endure, some crime I could commit, some way that you could get me on the stand in front of all these people, so that I would be condemned to death. You put this guilt against me. Another while, jury. All the while this man, which was called my father, has slain his own heart, and not the hearts of my mother and sister. Not even mine. For you will experience no pity. At daybreak tomorrow, I shall be condemned to death by my father's hand, not by the jury. Tomorrow, you slay my heart. Tomorrow, I die.